The research being done by Graham and his colleagues in this fascinating field of study, along with our growing knowledge of how our memories work and the use of modern technologies, is starting to offer very practical help to those working in criminal investigation dealing with eyewitnesses.
There were some really good examples of eyewitness errors that were made in the Eyewitness series. The second crime that we staged was an armed robbery with most of the people wearing ski masks, so that you couldn't see any, like balaclavas, you couldn't really see anything in their face, but there were eye holes. And one of the eyewitnesses obviously remembered that the eye region of the face was somehow different, and his brain constructed a story to try to explain that. But rather than say the person was wearing a ski mask, he thought they were wearing sunglasses. And it wasn't just the fact he said they were wearing sunglasses, which was completely wrong. He went into great detail about what sunglasses looked like. So he described the brand, he described the shape of the lenses, he described the colour of the bits that go over your ears. But all of that information was completely made up. His brain had constructed. And what was really, I guess, surprising and really illustrative of one of the problems with eyewitness testimony is he completely believed it. For him, the experience of remembering the sunglasses which didn't exist was exactly the same as the experience of remembering details that did exist.
Pretty sure he was wearing sunglasses.
My work and other research in psychology really, I think, has two things to offer. The first is that we can act as a warning to the criminal justice system, so that if we find that an eyewitnesses or eyewitnesses in general are unable to do something or fairly inaccurate, we can warn them not to rely on that information. The other thing we can do is by studying how the mind works and how investigative procedures and courtroom procedures kind of make the most of how the mind works, we can change those procedures, improve them. So hopefully what we can do is improve the accuracy of the information you gain from an eyewitness, to try and stop an eyewitness identifying the wrong person, to try and help them remember information more accurately and more completely. One example of that are the video identification parades that are used in the UK. It used to be, prior to 2003, that a police officer would have to scour the streets trying to find about 9 or 10 people that looked just like the suspect, and that's a very hard thing to do. And we know that those parades tended to be quite unfair on the suspect. With the video identification system, there's a very large database of thousands of faces that can be searched, and you can put together a parade based on that database. Technology is also helping in terms of what's known as facial composite images, so e-fits and photo fits. The original systems, such as the original photo fit and identikit system, were found by psychologists to be very inaccurate because they really didn't work in a way that kind of made the most of human cognition. So the way we remember faces is we remember the whole face. We remember it what's known as holistically, which means the whole face. But the way those early systems worked was to try to get people to construct a face by picking out, first of all, the eyes and then a nose. You'd look through hundreds of eyes and try and pick the right one. Now, memory just doesn't work like that. You find it very hard to pick out somebody's eyes, particularly if you don't know them well. So modern systems have been introduced, computer systems that are based on knowledge of how human psychology operates, so that now what you see is a whole face, and you kind of create an image of the suspect by manipulating the whole face. So forensic psychology is informing the criminal justice system and helping to improve police investigative procedures all the time.